We're back. We're thinking about the slope of the tangent line, and we're thinking about it in another way. So rather than experimenting as we did above, we're going to use algebra to prove. So here we have a secant line, line AB, that goes through our function and it crosses in 2 points. Now, when we reduce the distance between A and B, we start to get closer to our tangent line and reduce it even further. Now, we know that the formula for the slope of a line is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. But here we've got two variables, so we're going to try and reduce this down a little bit. Let's say this point, we could call it xy or x, f of x, right? We could call this x2 or something else, but notice, right, that there's some distance that we're adding from x. We're going to call that distance h. So this point here would be x plus h, right? X plus some other distance that we don't know. And then our y coordinate would be f of x plus h, whatever we get when we plug in x plus h. And we know that as we reduce the distance between A and B, what's going to happen? H is going to be the distance here. This distance is less than this distance, which is less than this distance. We're getting our distance to go to 0. So let's think about some of the things that we were learning before. Limits. The slope of the tangent line will be the slope of the line between these 2 points as h approaches 0. Let's try that out. So y2 minus y1, f of x plus h minus f of x over x2 minus x1, x plus h minus x. Now what we're trying to find is we're trying to find the limit of this function, that's the slope of the line, as h gets closer and closer to 0. The limit of this as h approaches 0. Now there's a little bit of simplifying that we can do here, so we're going to put a little equal sign and write this limit of x as h approaches 0, my bad, of, and we're going to say f of x plus h minus f of x over h. Now, this may look familiar to you because we've sort of been trying to make you see this, this pattern for a while here. This is how we find the slope of the tangent line. This is the difference quotient.